All right, this is the third of our potty training videos. A lot of people like to train their dog to potty or to ring a bell when it needs to go potty. And a lot of people screw up a couple key components in this. One of the most common mistakes people do is they hang the bell from the door. So every time the door opens, the dog hears the bell ringing. But it's ringing at times where the dog has no inclination or desire to go potty. The more that happens, the more confusing it is for the dog. So if you want to train your dog to use a bell to go potty or to tell you it has to go potty, first thing you do is find a bell. I tell you that's probably the hardest part about this task is finding an actual bell. What you will probably be able to find are jingle bells. So get 2 of them or 3 if you have multiple exits to your house. You want to have one that you can take with you outside when the dog potties, and you have them left in the areas by the doors. But don't have them hanging by the doorknob. Get a post-it pin, push pin, or a little nail that you use for a picture. Put that right next to it so it's hanging next to the door, so you can go in and out the door without and make sure even the whish of the wind doesn't make it blow. Just pretty close proximity. And it should be about nose level for your dog. So then what I do is after I've created a potty training command and condition the dog to do it with a command word, which we talked about in the other video. The next step is when I take the dog outside, I follow it and I have the jingle bell clamped so it's not making any noise. As soon as the dog starts to pee or poop, I gently start ringing the bell. Now a lot of people are like, just jingle, 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 the whole time the dog is peeing or pooping. This is what connects the association of the act with the sound. Then after I've done that for every time they dog potties for a week, then I start going, before I let the dog outside, I go to where the bell is hanging by the door. Now some people will take the dog's paw and hit it and then open the door and let it outside. Other people will, what I like to do is take a little tiny dab of peanut butter, like the tip of a toothpick, so just a tiny little bit, and put it on the bell. Now when you do that, you'll have a little bit left on the toothpick, so let your dog lick on that. And then once it's gone, and make it, if the bell's right here, dab it and then hold it right here for the dog. So the dog's like, and you can kind of lead him to it, and then he'll lick to try to get the peanut butter. Now if you put too much on here, that's why I say just a little dab. You just sit here ringing this, and I don't care about going outside. So as soon as they ding, you immediately open the door and let them out. You need them to think that there's remote control in this bell. I touch it and the door swings open. The first first week or two, so they understand this gets me out right away. But make sure that we don't ring the bell when we're just going outside for a walk or for any other reason. It is exclusively associated with potty training, with going potty. So after doing that for about a week, you shouldn't have to even ding or put the peanut butter on the bell. Or, I mean, if your dog really doesn't catch it, sometimes I'll take a little bit dab of peanut butter, put it on the jingle bell, then I'll grab a high value treat and stick it to the peanut butter. So now it's got to work and get it off, and then it makes the jingle, and then you take the dog outside. So that's why, again, having multiple bells helps, because if you have to take it off, it's making some sound as you take it off as you walk outside. So the only time the dog hears it is while it's eliminating. Now, the other time that we give it to them is after they get done eliminating, we stop ringing the bell, we crouch down in our catcher's position, and we hold out a high-value treat. And as soon as the dog takes the treat, I gently start ringing the bell again. So that connects with the action, with the sound, with the reward. And after a while, the dog just goes and rings the bell, expecting to go outside. Now, I would still, when you're doing this, like I talked about in the other video, if you do want your dog to go potty in a specific place, give it 5 treats. So treat, or jingle, jingle. As soon as the dog gets done chewing it, we stop and then give it another treat. So 5 if it goes in the right spot, 4 if it gets a little bit further away, and eventually just goes outside anywhere, we just get 1 spot. So that's how we train our dog to use a bell when they need to go potty.